All right, Luca Nation, we're going to kick off what I think is going to be an awesome episode here today. So welcome back to another episode of Luca's Tigers and Bronze. Oh my. I'm really excited today, and I want to start off by giving just a few announcements.
Announcement.
Oh, shoot.
Sorry, Cage. He wants to get
I muted you because...
Oh, yes, that's okay. I'm going to mute myself. Let's hear the announcements. Let's go.
Well, I did mute you. I muted you because your background noise was in my headphones. But first things first. A little announcement from a fan. So we got a comment from a fan. It said, I love how you guys do daily shows. Nobody else does it. Yesterday, I was listening to a show that gave their finals predictions. And I love that you guys have daily content for the hobby. So wanted to start off with that. We love that comment. We love that feedback. Sometimes doing the daily episodes is tough, but I got to be honest with you. It's one of the most fulfilling things that we could do because we can bring news. Why are you smiling like that? You're off mute. What's up, Cage?
Oh, I'm listening to the announcements. I mean, I'm picturing myself being a listener of a podcast on Wednesday, listening to a podcast give their predictions for the finals when the finals have already happened. They've already occurred. It's interesting stuff, I guess.
So we got another thing. It's for the people, by the people. And I got to give a shout out to our community that stepped up. So all of you guys that have messaged us about the Fantasy Football League, I would like to officially open the invite, extend the invite. We couldn't be more excited. Cage, yeah, we had a call today. You weren't on it. You were busy on meetings. We're going to have a Fantasy Football League, a Luca Nation Fantasy Football League. Here's how it's going to work. Okay?
It's my John Cena right here for those of you watching on YouTube.
It's going to be fun, guys. It's going to be fun. We're going to have 3 leagues is the plan, okay? 12 teams, 36 teams in all. A few of those spots are already taken by people running the league and Cage myself. We're going to have 4 real winners, but we're going to actually sprinkle in a few more fun winners as well. So each league is obviously going to have their own playoffs, and they're going to have a winner. And then we're going to have an overall point total winner, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to provide an awesome hobby box. It's going to be super fun. But in addition to that, every month, what we decided to do to keep people engaged, to keep it fun, to keep it active, we're going to do kind of a slab giveaway. So every league is going to have, or I guess between the leagues, point total winner every month, every 4 weeks. Okay, Cage, make sense so far?
Yeah, I mean, it'll all be spelled out, when we post this stuff. But yeah, basically, some is stay tuned for details. We're going to have a bunch of leagues, and those leagues are all going to have a bunch of prizes and winners and monthly prizes. And the key here, I think what Andrew's trying to get at is we do want to crown one Luca Nation fantasy champ for the season. But it's difficult to do that with this many leagues. You can't really have like a 35-person league, right? Because then in the first round, you draft in Laviska Shenault, who I plan on drafting in the first round anyway. But so whoever's in my league, I'll be in last. But I don't care because, I don't really want to win. I want you guys to win. But the point is we want to have like engagement between the leagues, crap talking between the leagues, right? So even though there'll be playoffs at the end of the regular season, right? The end of the leagues, we're going to crown the Luca Nation champ is the team across all leagues that has the most points in the regular season. That's pretty sweet. That's going to be the champ. Right. Well, I'm going to see what I can do about making a belt or a trophy or something. Some like Luca Nation, like real championship thing that goes out to that person. But they have to give it up next year unless they return, unless they repeat champ, unless they come back and win it again. Go ahead.
And here's the fun part, Cage. You remember those Sunday morning episodes we did?
Mm-hmm.
Now we get a little bit of a twist with them. Now we get to preview fantasy football. Maybe we bring on guests that are leading the league, and we get to do a little trash talk on those Sunday morning episodes. So it's going to be super fun. $100 buy-in. We think that that's fair. That's the price that we've chosen to keep people engaged, but not to break their bank. You feel me, Cage?
Yeah. And I will do what I
too high.
30-something people in the
too
league.
high. You always push back when the price is too high. We can kick it down. We can go up.
No. But I'm going to do what I can to make sure that everybody who participates gets something, whether it's some form of a slab, some sort of a giveaway, you name it. Because $100 is not something to sneeze at, right? I mean, that's a legitimate investment. Obviously, the winners are going to get legit prizes. We're going to have hobby boxes and the whole deal, and then the monthly winners are going to get stuff too. But I think. anybody who is participating in this should get something. I mean, by the time this season is going forward, I'm gonna have so much junk coming back from PSA. Junk, I don't mean junk. I'm gonna have stuff coming back from PSA that I'm not gonna mind giving away to you guys. And I still have
this is kind of like a participation trophy league.
Exactly. You can get the PSA 6 Gavin Lux for participating. Thank you. I'm only kidding. I love Gavin Lux. He's not a participation trophy. Tyler Hero PSA 5. Yeah.
Do you remember when those came back? We got PSA 10s and PSA 5s back.
Yeah.
Looked identical.
I sent one before we did Luca Nation grading. I sent one to Sasha T in October. I cracked it out of the 5 case and I sent it to him with a 20-day grade in October. And I sent it back to him raw. And I wanted to see whether it got a 5 again or maybe it came back a 10 because I thought it would be funny. But I don't know where the card is.
Good story.
It's somewhere. It's in Sasha's basement.
So, guys, fantasy football enrollment's open. We launched the league. It's for the people, by the people. We couldn't be more excited. 36 spots available. Some of them are already taken. It's first come, first serve. So all the people that have messaged me in the last week or week and a half, just shoot me another message. We'll enroll you and we'll get you going. We're really looking forward to that. And then I think we're probably going to do kind of a YouTube live for the fantasy football draft. So that's that. Well, that's enough on fantasy football. Guys, shoot us a DM. We'll answer all those messages. Cage, Pokemon cards. How silly does that word sound? Pokemon cards. It's like they had the biggest run up in January, February. We had Logan Paul. We had the box break. We had all of this attention to the hobby. And we haven't even talked about Pokemon cards.
Well, who is it? Who is it that put in the group? Let's give them some credit because when I said yesterday, that cards are going to turn back around, and I said, who was it that? Oh, the Mariano Rivera, and I talked about cards and making a comeback. They were like, "Is now the time to get the Pokemon cards?" Right? Is the time
really?
To get, Charizard? Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, give me a sec. Maybe it was just a message to me direct, but if your brain is there, I mean, people are, and if people are there, normally that's a good sign. It means other folks are thinking the same thing. It was it's in one of our Luca Nation groups. Let's give the guy some credit. It's Ryan Bitter, one of our longtime followers. It's _Ryan_Bitter. And he said, "Hey, like you playing on the cards that have been beaten down despite the signs that the market might be turning around. I'm surprised you guys didn't mention those Pokemon cards." He's talking about Charizard and the like. So yeah, I mean it falls right in that same category, 100%.
I don't know the Pokemon market as much as well as I should. I'd love to get Jeremy Padawer back on. That's actually my goal, to have him back on as a guest and talk a little bit more about Pokemon and things like that. But Cage, I know you're a big Pokemon collector. I know you got a million things going on in the background. We could table this conversation.
No, I'm good. Go ahead. Sorry.
Is there other than a Charizard or PSA 10 first edition? Is there anywhere you could tell people to look for Pokemon or what opportunities there might be? It's not my official play. I was going to make it my official play, but I don't know enough to feel confident in it.
You know what's funny, man? In the beginning, we wound up making the same plays a couple of times, right? And we did. We wound up, oh, man, that's my same play. It's my same play. And really, I was thinking about Pokemon mostly because Ryan put it in my brain. When, like an earwig, when something's in your brain, it's tough to get it out, right? It's like that song that keeps getting stuck, right? Like Milli Vanilli. Or I don't know. What song is stuck in my brain today?
I'll tell you guys are going to laugh at me, but I had a song stuck in my head. It was the Lana Del Rey Born to Die remix.
Sing a little for me because I don't even know what the song is.
No chance. No shot.
How about a hum? How about like a humming? Like just a humming? Lana Del Rey. You guys know this? Lana Del Rey? Do you know this song? No? Sorry.
Her music's a little sad, but when it's like kind of has like this house remix, she's the most remixed artist I think ever. So I love I love her remixes. She's a good voice.
Lana Del Rey. I'm gonna have to look this up. See, you know what was stuck in my brain today for whatever reason?
What's that?
I guess it's like a TikTok thing. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I don't know why. I must have watched the video and it's stuck in my brain and I can't get it out.
What's your TikTok username? People should follow you. I have a
TikTok, but I see people post TikTok stuff on here. Like they repost, like Manny Simone is like TikTok god, right? Our friend Manny, the Pokemon guy. But people post their TikToks. Even Jeremy Padawer, who you just mentioned, got TikTok that he posts over on Instagram. So Yeah, so that song stuck in my brain. Things get stuck in your brain, right? You know, Ryan Bitter put it in my brain. So I was thinking about making Pokemon my play today. It's not gonna be my play, but it this week is gonna be that. We talked about like Mariano Rivera. We talked about cards that were beaten down but haven't swung back up yet, and Pokemon definitely fits into that category. Where to buy and what to buy, right? A lot of people are selling Pokemon on Whatnot, right? A lot of people are selling Pokemon on Whatnot. You know,
Is there just too much supply of it? Is that an issue with Pokemon?
Yeah, some of it. There's too much supply of some of it, right? It depends really what you're looking for. But no, there's also a great. If you're a Pokemon person and you don't know this, you know, then this is going to be a great one for you. There's a board called E4, EFOUR, and that is like the ultimate, like, you know, elite. That's what the E stands for, I think. You know, Pokemon chat board. It's a great place to go and buy and sell stuff, trade stuff, you name it. Jeremy Padower is definitely on there. I've spoken with him through that. You know, a lot of good education on there. You know, for my first month or two on there a couple years ago, I didn't even post anything, which I know is not my MO. My MO is just talk, right, and just be loud. But that group allowed me to learn a lot about Pokemon by just listening. You know, sit there and read the posts, read the forum, you know, see the momentum, see the price swings and that kind of stuff. A lot of good stuff. I mean, Blowout has some good forums also. But I got to tell you, you know what's been beaten down to shreds, right? I have one of these. So obviously, you know, I'm not going out and buying one, but I have looked. The Pikachu cards. You know, I mean, yes, Charizard's all this money, but, you know, the Pikachu, like the red cheeks, is only like 2 and change pop. The yellow cheeks only 3 and change. I'm talking about 300 and something of those yellow cheeks, 1999 first edition, you know, cards. And that Pikachu yellow cheeks, which was, I don't know, what was that? $5,000, $4,000, $7,000, whatever the hell it was. I mean, obviously those numbers were all over the place. I mean, I saw it selling the last couple weeks for like $1,200.
Wow.
You know, I mean, that's not cheap by any stretch, but it's definitely way down from where it was, you know, when the stuff was going up. And, you know, like everything else, what will happen is the supply at that price will dry up, right? I heard recently a Michael Jordan private sale somewhere around $500,000. So, you know, look, that you know, I don't know whether it's going to come true. I don't know whether it's going to be, you know, the whole deal. And I can't tell you whether it's a PWCCS or whatever the heck it is. But, yeah, it's you know, they're starting to peak back up. Things are starting to move, and Pokemon's definitely a good area. I like it. I like where your mind's at. Hey, can I bring up a topic for you? Can I bring up a topic for you before you get into your play and my play? I normally don't. I get to run, but I want to hear your thoughts on this. Are you aware of the fact that Golden has opened up a Golden Vault
in Delaware?
So what do you think about that? You think it's a good thing? You think it's a smart thing? You think that might be part of the reason that PWCC announced today that they're doing free vaulting for people who are opening up a PWCC vault? You think it's good for the hobby?
I think vaulting is brilliant. I think just vaulting in general is a huge value add to customers because, and Cage, correct me if I'm wrong, when you have vaulting, you save on shipping. You can do instant, if your vault is big enough, you could do instant kind of NFT-like transactions because if you have enough customers in your database, they can buy and sell right there, no shipping. You just move the cards from the vault. You could do auction advances. So let's say you are auctioning your Michael Jordan PSA 10 off in the August auction. Well, you know that's around a $500,000 card. A company can advance you that money, so you could go ahead and buy a card before or almost right in line as you're auctioning off your card. That's huge because oftentimes we want to color up, but we've talked about this before. Coloring up isn't the easiest, especially depending on the liquidity, because you have to kind of wait and that card could get ahead of itself. So that's another benefit. And then if you have a vault, you could do cash advances as well on the total value of all the cards in the vault. PWCC does all of these things. I think another competitor to them is just good for the customers. I think it's. I grew up in small business, Cage. I love competition. I love anything that makes things better for customers and the market. And the only way I know how to do that is through competition. So when I see that Golden is becoming bigger and starting to compete in all these different areas, I think it's good for consumers. Happy to hear your take. I think you're going to go a different direction on it.
No, I think you nailed it right. I think you nailed it right on the head. I think that a little bit of competition, having two people doing something in a space instead of just one, is always good for the end user. You know what I mean? Because that competition is going to keep everyone honest. It really, truly does, right? And you know, I don't know because I don't work for PWCC, but I don't know if they did this free vaulting for people. If there wasn't competition, why would they need to? And that alone is enough of an example of why it's good for consumers, for collectors. You know that
I want more of it.
If there are people fighting over your dollars, then they got to give you a better product. You know,
and a better service.
That's right. So to me, it's a good thing. And I'll let everybody know I won some stuff. You guys know this from the Golden Auction. You know, smaller items. I'm going to be trying out the Golden Vault, and I'll be able to, I mean, in a month, 2 months, we'll see when it's all finalized and the whole deal. Maybe we'll do a part of an episode, a little side-by-side analysis, a little comparison of the vault process for two. You know, I can't really judge Golden yet. I think I was like the third card in the Golden Vault, you know, so, you know, they're giving some time to work the kinks out and stuff, but, you know, we'll be able to bring that to you also. You know, I'll try out both Golden, and obviously I've been using PWCC for years. So I'll give you kind of like a side-by-side analysis because, you know, if there are people who are thinking about using vaults, you know, it might be useful. Might be useful information, a little what one does and the other does.
I think it's a no-brainer. And I'll spin it like this, but I think it'll make sense. Like, I've talked about this at length. Guys, all of these services are basically free. They're basically free. If you think about PWCC vaulting, it actually is free. Right? Golden Vault free. Signing up for Star Stock free. Signing up for Only Alt free. So to me, it would be foolish not to try things. I'll give you an example. We signed up, I told you guys, for Panini NFTs. I have learned just watching the market, the auctions of the Panini NFTs, I've learned so much. I've learned that actually the market favors Luka a little bit more than Steph Curry because you see, right, the Panini NFTs. They're all out of the same number. So there was a throwback 2012 set. All of them are out of 500, and there's no rookies. And what it did, it showed me in real life, oh, LeBron's number 1, Durant's number 2, Luka's number 3, Zion's number – oh, I forgot Giannis. Giannis is now probably number 2. Zion's number 5, whatever. Steph Curry. Kawhi is a forgotten man. No one is even looking at Kawhi cards right now.
Kawhi. I was shocked by that. Kawhi and then Trey on the bottom, which is just so weird. So weird. Kawhi and Trey. Kawhi, Trey, Kyrie. You know, if you would give the names of the 15, Kawhi, Trey, and Kyrie are on the bottom. LeBron, Luka, Zion, Giannis, Durant, top. And everybody else.
Lillard is right there on that second tier too. Fascinating.
Yeah, Lillard, and Curry, and who else is in that mid tier there? Oh, Tatum's towards the bottom, but not as far bottom as Kawhi and Kyrie and Trey. Tatum is a slight rung above them.
But guys, why I say that is, without having to deposit a single dollar, you could watch those releases in that market and get to understand how the general card market views these NBA players as well. And what's cool about it is there's always going to be a different amount of PSA 10s graded of Luka and Zion, etc. But here it's apples to apples. There's 500 releases of every one. So in theory, you're just going to be able to watch demand, right? Because the supply is capped. So just that's one example. So I'm excited by Golden, man. I think more marketplaces, more content creators, more grading companies, more vault, more fractional, more business, and all these businesses working together to grow the hobby. It's all in turn better for consumers. If it's better for consumers, more people want to join the hobby and the pie grows. It's really basic economics. It's basic business because at the stage we're at now, yeah, the hobby's grown a lot, but it has so much more opportunity and room to grow. It really does.
All right. Listen, I'll be quick with my play. Do you remember how much Zion's Prism PSA 10 was at its peak?
I know everything about Zion cards. Zion cards were $500 for the longest time, from about March 2020 to July 2020. Then they just went on a run like everything did last August. They got up to $1,000 when Lukas were $2,000. Lukas were $2,000. Zion were $1,000. Then they got knocked out. They didn't get to the playoffs at the bubble. They dropped back down to 750, 800. They had a bit of a run up to 900 in December. Yep. Heading into the next NBA season, they underperformed all season, and then the base got crushed, and it was just a free fall from 900 to 700 to 600 to 500 to 400. They're probably sitting at 300 right now.
Yeah, but you can get them in the 350 range. Yeah, 350 range on auctions. And there have been this week several sold in the 350s. And to me, you're getting to a point where that card has very little downside to it. I know there's a million of these cards out there. We talked about this yesterday, and maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, that card becomes almost like, what's the best way to say it? Stable coin. The Zion Prism PSA 10 is almost like a stable coin, right? I'm talking about having
the fact that you know what a stable coin is kind of a weird flex, but I see what you did there.
So, but think about it, right? Like it's, I'm talking with the guys at Bleecker about how about doing a poker night, which, by the way, if anybody's local wants to do a poker night, I think we're definitely going to start that up. But I want to do it different. You want to come? You want to play poker? All right, you're in. So how about your everybody at the table has to put a Zion Prism PSA 10 down as their entry? You know, I mean, like, why the heck not? You know, everybody can have $100 buy-in or a let's call it a $350 buy-in. But there we go. Let's buy in. It's not $350. It's one Zion, right?
It's gonna be hard to cash people out at the end of the game.
Why? Everybody gets
you want 2.5 Zions, and what are you
winner takes it all. Winner takes
all the Zions.
Winner takes all. Yeah, man. Listen, there's a lot of ways of doing it. My point is, I think that it's almost become like because there's so many out there. It's like it's liquid. You know, it's liquid. It's like it's a very liquid piece of commodity wise, or it's almost like its own little currency. A Zion Prism PSA 10. Here you go. Let's play poker in it. Also, I got plenty more ideas with the poker night. By the way, I think we can some cool boxes that they got. We can rip them open, and everybody buys a pack, and the pack is your entry fee. The winner of that hand gets all the packs, and it's open to packs. It's a cool way of breaking a box while doing a poker game. Anyway, I got tons of ideas, and it's pretty cool to have a home base to try to operate some of those ideas out of. But the Zion Prism PSA 10, didn't we have a pretty smart guy on who has like 3 billion of these, right? Who thinks he's going to score 100 points, right? A little Patrick Bet-David action, right?
Oh, right.
So there are smarter people than me out there who also are investing in Zion. So here's my Zion play, right? I'm going to go a little Bro Namath on folks, right? I'm going to have a plan. I'm going to plan to buy Zion base PSA 10s at $350 each, right? And I'm not going to buy these guys. I want to buy them, but this is 2021, right? I'm giving you a play that I think is going to make money, right? If both of you think I should buy them, and that's cool too, I'll buy them because I really do want to buy this. I think it's a moneymaker, but I also don't want to be a pump and dumper. You guys, I was Lameemed once. I don't want to be Lameemed every week. But this is what I would.
Do you have the capital to move a market that size?
No, I don't.
Speaking of big size, I'm petitioning Panini to stop using the fattest photo of Zion on every single card.
You like that 2012 throwback? He's like a blimp in that one. Yes, I know. But wait, let me get this out. Let me get the Bro Namath play out. Right? I want to have a strategy on this. Right? You're buying at $350, right? And you have, just like you said yesterday, 3 months until the season, right? 3 months until basketball. I don't even think it's going to take that long. You're buying them now, and in the lead up to the season, I believe that this card is a $500 card again. As we lead into the season, we're going to have a draft. We're going to have whatever off-season moves. We're going to have, news come out about how the starting lineup for the Pelicans is looking different. Zion's looking leaner. He really went into this offseason and cut out the Tim Hortons or whatever his, etouffee, whatever it is that he's, and he looks like a lean, mean fighting machine. And there's going to be and it's $500. And to get the $500, you know what that means? It's getting to the price that it was a year and a half ago, right? It's not getting it's getting to half of the peak, right? It was $800 in May. You know what I mean? So combined, the fact that I think we're hitting this and we're going to start to see a little bit of this and ride the fact that this is now basketball off season, people are going to be looking at quarterbacks instead of Zion. And you're going to have an opportunity to buy him and sell him. I don't even hold this card into the season. I'm selling it at $500 after your fees from eBay and the whole 9 yards. You're making $100, which if you're investing $350, you're making 30% just to hang on to this thing from now until right before the season starts. You make a $350 investment, you cash out at $500, and I think there's money to be made here on this card with very little downside because it's just been beaten up so bad. Do I think this is a card to hold forever? Absolutely not. Do I want to be in base cards holding forever? No. Do I think it's the most liquid thing in the world and entering it and exiting it will be very easy because of that reason? Yes.
Maybe worth taking a look at the silver as well because that's got chopped up but
trying
Zion's
to get the entry point easy for folks. That's all.
The Zion market is interesting because every objection that people could have had and thrown towards Zion, he hasn't gotten injured, knock on wood. He's dominated. He plays well, but still his card's gone down because his team hasn't performed. So he's at a really interesting place where he's kind of people can't doubt his game anymore. And people, I mean, they might doubt his injury, but I think just a little bit of team performance. And I don't know. He's an interesting specimen. I'll leave it like that, I guess.
You know what scares me about it and why I don't even care? Why I think it's fine to just buy him and sell him in the lead up because what we've seen is that even if you get it right, and you just said team performance, right? Even if you're right and the guy he beats all of the critics and the team performs well, the market may not cooperate with you. And you saw that with Trae Young. That's what I'm talking about. So if you would have bought Trae Young in the lead up to this season and sold him in the beginning of the season, instead of hanging on to his cards, every bet you could have made on him if you were a Trae believer came true. I mean, look how far the team went. Look how great he played. Look at all the things he did. And you would have been better off selling before the season. So I take all the risk of the market, the injury, all that stuff out. You want to invest in Zion, that's fine. And hang on to Zion long term. I think you'll be fine there too, which is why I like this play even more. Because if I'm wrong and there isn't an exit on this, I still do believe there's an exit during the season. I believe there's an exit when they make the playoffs. And Zion is so young with so many good years of ball ahead of him that it's one of those things where, I think there's a quick and easy exit with some profit. But even if that doesn't come to fruition, I think that there are so many different potential exits down the road for you making money on this card that it's just one where it's at a level now that just makes too much sense to ignore.
I'm going to wrap this up, guys, with my play. And I'm taking a page out of the NHL's book. So I'm introducing something today, Cage. I'm introducing the Stars, okay? Stars.
The Dallas Stars?
No, not the Dallas Stars. So after each game in the NHL on the Score mobile app, they rate the performances, okay? 1 star, you had a good game. 2 stars, you had a great game. 3 stars, you had an excellent game. That's what I'm going to do for my plays, try to do for my plays moving forward. So the Pokemon play was a 1-star play. I feel good about it. I don't know enough, but it's a 1-star play. I'll give you a 2-star play and then a 3-star play, okay? My 2-star play is, let's say you are out there and you've decided to buy Giannis or LeBron cards, okay? I want to give you guys 2 alternative ways to play those. So first one is the LeBron cards, okay? LeBron Upper Deck Exclusives is a really low pop card that's relatively cheap. That's his rookie card. So that card's about a $700, $600 card, the Upper Deck Exclusives one. Whereas Topps Chrome is $18,000. So if you're getting back into the market, back to the price point that you're talking about, and you're set on buying LeBron cards, I would really look at this Upper Deck Exclusive because that card was as high as $2,000, $2,000 at peak LeBron, and now it's come down to $600. Just to give you guys context, I owned that card and I sold that card last year during COVID, like in the beginning before the run up, for $425. So that card hasn't had the run up that a lot of other LeBrons. So that's the Upper Deck Exclusives PSA 10. Second, if you're looking at Giannis, check out some of his autos, and specifically his long form autos, like the Rising Tide auto, Next Day Autographs auto. Those are the long forms, and those are going to be sought after way more than the ones where he signs where it looks like a TA. Okay, so that's
by long form, folks, what he means is his full signature, right? We'll try to find an autograph where he signs his whole name. His early autographs he was signing his whole name.
Yeah, and you guys could literally go Giannis autos, and you'll see some of them. It looks like he just initialed, but some, like the Rising Tide, is a good example. Next to the autographs, it's his full signature, and that's going to be sought after. That's really rare, and now he does initial. So those are two alternative plays. And here's my 3-star play. And I can't understand this market, but I'm having faith. I'm going back to the well. Do you know Bradley Beal's points per game totals the last 2 seasons?
Close to 30 in both.
30 and then 31.
I'm pretty good. And he's pretty good.
If you're pretty good, well, what does that make him?
He's a good player on a bad team.
A good player or a great player?
He's a scorer. He's a scorer.
Kevin Durant's a scorer, and people say he's one of the best. He's the best offensive player of all time.
Durant's a good defender. He does facilitate for other people, and that kind of stuff. I don't. I've watched a lot of Wizards games, and maybe it's because there's just. Like Westbrook's there hunting for triple doubles, so the 3 or 4 assists a game that Beal would otherwise get that would fluff his stats. Westbrook was stealing from him, but he's a quality player. He's a great player. He scores whenever he wants to score. Slightly undersized, so it makes it even more impressive. But I don't see him doing a lot of the other things that you love.
Right. That I talk about.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Bradley Beal or Devin Booker right now on your team?
Probably Booker just because he's younger and you're going to get more years of his prime. But if you're just talking about, hey, for one season going forward, which one I would take, I might take Beal because I think he's a better 3-point shooter. And I think for whatever reason, that is a huge thing the way the game is played right now. You need to be able to shoot yourself back into games.
So, guys, I'll be honest. I'm a little worried because I may be trying to make fetch happen with Bradley Beal. I like his game a lot. Yep. Cage is right. I do like guys that are able to contribute in different ways, but also guys that have one specific polished skill set, and that's scoring.
Yep,
are also vital. So maybe I'm trying to make fetch happen, but I believe that if Beal goes to even a playoff caliber team, he's going to start to get the respect that he deserves. I think he reminds me of a Chris Paul, of a player on the Suns team who's never got to the playoffs, so he's never gotten the media attention. He's never been in the spotlight, but if he does, people will see this guy is a 50-point scorer waiting. He's just that good.
Yeah, he's a bucket.
And he's a bucket, and his cards are as cheap as Devin Booker's, where he has, I guess we'll say, the same accolades, which are nothing, but he has a fraction of the population. So his Prism PSA 10 from 2012 is a $400 card, and that to me. Sure, $400 is nothing to scoff at, but you're getting a guy who he's one of the best scorers in the league, and unfortunately has just never been on a team that's had any remote talent around him where he could even compete. And I just think that this may be the year. It really may be the year he might get traded.
Whether I love him as a great player and elite player, there are only a few guys in the league. Dame Lillard is on the short list of these, where if you buy the card, you know how I talked about Zion's got many exits for the card, right? You can exit before the season if the price is right. If it doesn't happen to go up right now and I'm wrong on that call, you name it. So even if Beal stays on the Wizards, right? Even if he doesn't go to a playoff team, even if this team doesn't play well, there will be a time this season where for 1 week, he is without a doubt the best player in the league, right? He will score 40 5 games in a row or 4 games in a row, or he'll drop 62 in a game and follow that up with a 45-point performance. And he will get some recognition, which will fizzle out because his team won't have team success. But he's done that. You don't get to average 31 points without having a stretch of 40-point games. Lillard's done it. Beal's done it. There's not that many other players, if any, that I can name right now that do that with that. They're streaky. They get hot. They're streaky. He's on fire, like NBA Jam style, right? And your exit could be that week. Now, I don't know if it's week 2 of the season or week 15 of the season, but that week may come, and even if they're not having the team success, that gives you an exit opportunity on the Beal cards that will be higher than 400, even if the team is slumping, even if the team is not making the playoffs. So it's an extra layer on this play.
That's a great strategy, guys, and maybe something to look out for. If you are, it's kind of like that. If you are proven right, how many different ways can you be proven right? It's he gets traded, he can put up 60, his team does well. I love that because now you have more at bats.
Yep.
And a little cherry on the cake, I gave you guys the wrong price on it. I'm seeing auctions here for 300 and 335.
Oh. That was a lot more.
There you.
That was a lot more going into last season. I mean, a lot of cards were, but that card was a lot more than that. I know, you can't. I don't think the pop went up significantly. I mean, I know I graded a couple of them, but the pop is on 2012. Here's my, I like to say I love it and I love this play. I've mentioned this once before and it's worth mentioning again because I like this, but it's going to go for Clay. It's going to go for Dame. It's going to go for Anthony Davis. It's going to go for Kawhi. It's going to go for any 2012 rookie. I mean, Kemba, whatever. I don't know how many more years he's going to be in the league, unless you count the league in China. But Taco Fall, I'll give you credit for that one. So all of the 2012 Prism rookies, they've been swept up in this base drop.
But they're not base. Do you want to take a guess how many PSA 10s there are?
So that's the point, right? And I told you this at one of the trading events. I had a stack of cards, and the first things they took out were the Clay and the Lillard base PSA 10 2012s because they're looking to sell on whatnot. And if they write base, it doesn't get eyeballs. Even though a 2012 base card is in pop 10 is like a silver now. You know what I mean? Because the pop is so low. I mean, what's the pop on that? What's the pop on the Beal base?
Take a guess.
It's under 1,000.
640.
640.
Let me give you guys one more play if you guys want to go this route. There was a Prism because I love that they used to just call it Prism Silver. Yep. There's a total of 49 Prism Silvers graded of Bradley Beal, and you could buy a PSA 8, which seems like stupid, but it was like $300 for a Prism Silver. Yeah. And there's only 49 of them. So in a raw condition, I think that's a more expensive card when you really kind of break it down, but there's so few of these, Cage. There's so few.
We haven't done in one whole episode a Cage regrets, but I had I think there's 10 10s. I had one of those 10s and sold it.
Believe it or not, the 10s have skyrocketed. There's 24 now.
Nice.
More than 9s. Yeah.
When I sold it, there were only 10 when I sold it. So maybe they skyrocketed in price too. I don't know. Who that knows?
And just to put a cherry on this, and wrap up, all of the guys Cage mentioned have already won championships or been in the playoffs or have had Beal's cards have no success priced in. So any inkling of success, like he might make the playoffs, to me, it's a game changer. I like watching his game, so I'm secretly kind of a fan. And I hope he gets traded to the Lakers, to the Heat, to the Knicks. So we'll see what happens. But that's my play. That's my 3-star play, guys. Let's wrap there. Fantasy football, shoot us a DM. We'll get you in the league. First come, first serve. We're really excited about that. Take a look at Pokemon. Anything else, Cage?
No. I mean, listen, if you're putting a capper on this one, it's Andrew and Cage both give base prisms. So that should tell you something about what we think's going on with the hobby here.
You just said 2012 is a base.
I know, but I'm trying to summarize it, man. Come on now. What are you doing? I'm cutting a corner. What do you want? You give me a hard time. It's still a base prism. It's a low pop base prism, but it's still a base prism. All right. Well, listen. Another day, a week from now, we may be doing an episode from the National. So I'm getting excited. I hope you guys out there are getting excited too. Looking forward to. A lot of people have asked me, "What are you going to do there? What do you do there?" And really, the number one answer is, I want to meet as many of you guys as I can, and that's not a lie. So make sure if you're going to be there that we know about it, right? Make sure that you message us and we can put you in our group of folks who are going to be at the National. I have made jokes that I'm putting a bounty on people tackling Andrew. I'm going to rescind that. Please don't try to tackle Andrew. Maybe just take a selfie with him. I don't need him getting hurt and messing up my, this Lou Gehrig streak of episodes. I can't have him in the hospital in Chicago. Because some of our listeners, they really want to light Andrew up. So don't actually tackle Andrew, folks. As funny as that might be, please don't. But yeah, that's it, man. I'm looking forward to it. Please
I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it either way. So
No way. All right, listen, this was a fun one. I appreciate it. And, the only sad part about it is I don't have McDonald's waiting for me at the end of this episode like I had it at the end of yesterday.
He was so happy. He was so giddy.
All right, guys. We'll talk soon.
And people asked, are we going to still do an episode every day from National? Do you want to answer that?
We did episodes on Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that fun stuff. Why would we not? We're going to be in the epicenter of cards, I guess, is what people say, right? So, while I really want to meet all the folks who are going to be there, I feel like, and Andrew and I have spoken about this. I'll steal his line. We owe the folks in Luca Nation who aren't going to be able to be there, we owe them an episode every day to kind of let you know what we're doing there, what we've seen there, whether it's worth being there or not. An honest take on it, because it is our first time going. We're not gonna lie to you about that. So, and then maybe next year we'll see you at National or another event. So 100%. We definitely need to continue to do the episodes, and I'm sure there's going to be content. I'm sure I'm going to have pictures of Andrew smoking a cigar with Ken Golden. So there'll be some good stuff. Episode every day. 100%.